What it takes to be a professional dancer can slowly dance begins long before the stage. It begins in childhood bedrooms, where music plays through small speakers and young bodies move instinctively to rhythm. It begins in cultural festivals, in school gyms, in living rooms where grandparents smile at a child's first twirl. For some, it begins with admiration, watching professionals on television or YouTube, feeling the spark of inspiration that whispers, "I want to do that." But what separates a fleeting interest from a lifelong pursuit? It is the moment when dance stops being entertainment and becomes identity. Professional dancers will often tell you that they cannot remember a time when movement did not feel natural, when rhythm did not flow through their veins. But talent alone never makes a professional. What follows is a journey marked by countless hours, unshakable dedication, and the courage to sacrifice comfort for passion. The spark and the seed of every professional dancer's story starts differently. Some were enrolled in ballet classes at age 3. Others discovered hip-hop at 12 on the streets of their city. Some come from families of performers. Others break away from expectations to chase a dream. What unites them is that the spark grew into a seed, a desire to improve, to test limits, to see how far dance could carry them. This seed must be nurtured. At first, progress feels magical. Every class brings new skills. Every rehearsal feels exciting. But as years pass, the honeymoon ends. Repetition becomes exhausting. Injuries appear. Progress slows. This is the stage where many quit. Professionals, however, find something deeper: purpose. Purpose as anchor. Purpose answers the question, why am I doing this? For some, the answer is expression, the ability to tell stories without words. For others, it is freedom, the way movement breaks boundaries. For others still, it is ambition, the desire to perform on the world's greatest stages. Purpose keeps dancers moving when the body aches, when auditions reject them, when opportunities seem scarce. Purpose is the fuel behind resilience. A day in the life of a young dreamer. Picture a teenager training for a professional future. Their day begins before school with stretches and conditioning. While classmates spend lunch chatting, they sneak into the gym to rehearse choreography. After school, while friends go to parties, they head to the studio for 3 hours of class. By the time they get home, homework waits. Sleep becomes precious, and weekends are filled with competitions or rehearsals. This relentless schedule is not glamorous. It is tiring, isolating, and often thankless. Yet it shapes the mindset required for professionalism, the understanding that greatness demands sacrifice. Story reflection. The first audition-known dancer recalls traveling across the city for her first big audition at age 16. Nervous but eager, she entered a room filled with hundreds of others, each more experienced, more confident, more polished. She stumbled through the choreography and was cut in the first round. Devastated, she cried the whole way home. But the next morning, she was back in class. That resilience, the ability to keep going after failure, marked the true beginning of her professional path. Body as an instrument of the human body is extraordinary, but it was not designed specifically for dance. Professional dancers must transform their bodies into instruments capable of extraordinary precision, endurance, and beauty, strength, and conditioning. Every jump requires explosive leg strength. Every pirouette requires core stability. Every lift demands coordination of muscles that most people never train. Professional dancers develop conditioning routines similar to elite athletes: cardio for stamina, weight training for strength, pilates for control, yoga for flexibility. But unlike athletes who peak for short bursts of competition, dancers must perform for long rehearsals and shows, often night after night. That requires both endurance and recovery. Flexibility and balance. Of flexibility is not about touching your toes. It is about creating lines that captivate audiences. A grand jet without extension loses its power. A develop without control lacks grace. Balance, too, is critical. The ability to hold a pose mid-air, to freeze in a breakdance move, or to pirouette 6 times without faltering. Professional dancers achieve this through countless drills, barre work in ballet, isolation exercises in hip-hop, partner drills in ballroom. It is repetition, not magic, that creates mastery. Injury and recovery. The dancer's body walks a fine line between brilliance and breakdown. Shin splints, stress fractures, tendinitis, sprains, back pain. These are not rare accidents, but common realities. What separates professionals is not avoidance of injury, but smart recovery. Ice baths, physiotherapy, massages, stretching, and rest days all become part of a dancer's toolkit. Nutrition: proteins to rebuild muscles, carbs to fuel energy. Hydration to prevent cramping becomes as important as choreography. Professionals learn to listen to their bodies. Pushing too far may mean months of lost time. Story reflection: the Komabaska ballroom dancer once tore her ACL weeks before an international competition. Doctors told her she might never compete again. For months, she endured grueling rehab, rebuilding her strength step by step. A year later, she returned to the stage, stronger and more determined. Her comeback performance was not flawless, but the standing ovation proved something greater. Professionalism is not defined by avoiding setbacks, but by refusing to surrender to them. The mindset of mastery. The mind is as vital as the body. In the professional world of dance, rejection is constant, pressure is unrelenting, and comparisons are inevitable. Without mental strength, even the most talented dancers burn out. Facing rejection: every audition is a gamble. Hundreds show up, dozens get cut in the first round. Sometimes the cut has nothing to do with skill. Maybe the director wants someone taller, younger, older, or with a different look. Professionals understand this truth. Rejection is not always a reflection of ability. They learn to separate personal worth from external decisions. The growth mindset. Gerald Dweck's theory of growth mindset applies beautifully to dance. Fixed mindset. Dancers think, "I failed. I'm not good enough." Growth mindset. Dancers think, "I failed. What can I learn from this?" This difference creates longevity. Every missed step becomes a teacher. Every critique becomes fuel. Professionals keep journals, tracking what went wrong, then setting goals for improvement. Mental tools of the professional visuals. Before competitions, dancers imagine every movement in perfect detail, training the mind as much as the body. Meditation and breathwork to handle nerves before stepping on stage. Positive self-talk, replacing "can't" with "I will." Reflection, watching recordings of rehearsals, analyzing mistakes without shame. The battle with comparison in a studio. Mirrors line every wall. They are both friend and foe. Mirrors help refine technique, but they also magnify insecurities. Dancers constantly compare themselves to peers. Longer legs, higher jumps, cleaner turns. Professionals shift their perspective. Instead of competing against others, they compete against yesterday's version of themselves. Story reflection. The audition breakdown. A young dancer recalls bursting into tears after being cut from her dream audition. She believed it was the end of her career, but her mentor said, "One audition does not define you. The true test is how you show up tomorrow." She returned to training with new focus, and 2 years later, landed a role in the same company that once rejected her. Section 4. The artistry of expression. Approx. 1.5 hours. Technique impresses. Expression inspires. The greatest professional dancers do more than execute moves. They tell stories with their bodies. Dance as storytelling. From ancient rituals to Broadway stages, dance has always been a language. Every gesture communicates meaning. A raised hand can symbolize reaching for hope. A downward glance can express sorrow. Professionals study not just steps, but the emotions behind them. Beyond perfection, some of the most beloved performances in history are not flawless. They are powerful because they are authentic. A dancer's trembling hands during a contemporary solo may not be technically perfect, but the raw emotion can move an audience to tears. Professionals embrace vulnerability. Training creative artistry is not natural. It is cultivated. Professionals study acting to understand character work. Read literature and poetry to inspire emotional depth. Improvise regularly to explore new movement. Watch art, film, and theater for inspiration. The fusion of styles. Modern professional dancers often blend styles. A ballerina may add hip-hop flavor. A b-boy may borrow from contemporary lines. Fusion expands artistry, when performance is unique. Professionals are not afraid to step outside their comfort zone to explore new vocabularies of movement. Audience connection. A technical routine may impress judges, but connection captivates audiences. Professionals learn to project energy beyond their bodies using eye contact, facial expression, and timing to draw viewers in. A small movement delivered with intensity can be more powerful than a grand leap delivered without emotion. Story reflection. The solo that changed everything. At a national competition, dancer performed a contemporary solo about grief. Her movements were raw, imperfect, and filled with trembling pauses. She did not win first place, but she received a standing ovation. That moment launched her career, as choreographers saw not just skill, but soul. The business of dance. Dance is passion, but it is also profession. To sustain a career, professional dancers must master more than choreography. They must master the business side of the art. Dance as career, not hobby. For many, dance begins as joy, but when dance becomes a career, survival depends on financial stability. Rent must be paid, meals must be bought, injuries must be treated. Professional dancers quickly realize that loving dance is not enough. They must also learn how to make dance support their livelihood. Networking and connections in the industry. Who you know often matters as much as what you know. Auditions are open doors, but referrals, recommendations, and relationships unlock opportunities faster. Professionals attend workshops, connect with choreographers, and collaborate with other dancers to build lasting reputations. A single introduction can change the trajectory of a career. Portfolios, reels, and branding. In the digital age, professional dancers are also marketers. They need dance reels, professionally filmed clips showcasing versatility and strength. Headshots, clean, professional photos to present at auditions. Online presence, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, platforms where choreographers scout talent. Personal brand, a clear identity. Are they known for grace, power, fusion of styles, contracts, and negotiations? A gig may sound glamorous, but without understanding contracts, dancers risk being underpaid or exploited. Professionals learn to read agreements carefully. Payment terms, rehearsal requirements, rights to footage. Many seek representation through agents who secure fair pay and protect rights. Teaching and diversifying income. Very few dancers survive on performances alone. Teaching at studios, leading workshops, or choreographing for schools or companies provide steady income. Some branch into modeling, acting, or fitness instruction. The most sustainable careers come from diversification. The global stage and the digital revolution. A portion are no longer limited to local companies. Social media allows dancers to showcase their work worldwide. Viral choreography can lead to collaborations with music artists, brands, or film studios. The metaverse opens even more doors where motion capture and virtual avatars create performances for global digital audiences. Story reflection. The social media breakthrough dancer struggled for years to land consistent gigs. Frustrated, she began posting short choreographies online. Within months, a video went viral. A major pop star's team noticed her style and invited her to choreograph a music video. Overnight, her career transformed. This story highlights a truth. Professionalism is not only about talent, but also about visibility. Struggles and sacrifices. Behind every standing ovation lies sacrifice. Professional dancers live lives shaped by challenges most outsiders never see. Physical sacrifice. Dancers push their bodies to extremes. Long rehearsals mean swollen ankles, blistered feet, strained muscles. Injuries are common. Unlike sports teams with medical staff, many dancers must pay for treatment themselves. A single injury can sideline a dancer for months, and months without work can mean months without pay. Emotional sacrifice. The emotional toll is heavy. Constant auditions mean constant rejection. The pressure to look a certain way, slim but strong, graceful but powerful, creates body image struggles. Some dancers battle self-doubt daily. To keep going requires emotional resilience beyond normal levels. Financial sacrifice. Many dancers work side jobs just to sustain their art. Waitressing, retail shifts, tutoring. These jobs pay the bills while auditions and rehearsals take up the rest of their time. The financial instability discourages many. Only those with relentless passion continue pushing forward. Social sacrifice. Late night rehearsals, weekend performances, tours far from home. Professional dancers often miss birthdays, weddings, family gatherings. Friendships may fade. Romantic relationships are tested. The pursuit of excellence can feel lonely, yet most professionals accept it as part of the price. Burnout and recovery. There comes a point where exhaustion sets in. Bodies ache, minds fall, motivation fades. Burnout is real. The professionals who endure learn to step back to rest, to reconnect with why they dance, to find joy again in movement rather than obligation. Story reflection. The dancer who almost quit. A dancer once confessed she planned to quit after years of struggling financially and emotionally. On the night she considered giving up, she performed a small solo for a local audience. At the end, a young child approached and said, "When you dance, I feel brave." That moment reminded her why she began. She did not quit. Today, she tours internationally. Sometimes, one small moment of impact reignites the flame. The evolution of dance. Dance has never been static. From sacred rituals to royal courts, from Broadway stages to TikTok feeds, it evolves with culture, technology, and society. For professionals, adaptation is not optional. It is survival. From tradition to innovation. Classical ballet, with its centuries-old positions, remains foundational. Hip-hop, born from urban expression, reshaped global entertainment. Contemporary dance blurred boundaries, mixing athleticism with emotion. Professionals today often train across multiple styles, creating versatility that opens more opportunities. A ballet dancer may be cast in a contemporary piece. A hip-hop dancer may choreograph for a pop star. A ballroom dancer may compete on television shows with millions watching. Professionals know every style learned expands their possibilities. Technology as a new stage. The last decade has introduced a revolution. Social media transformed dance from something seen in theaters to something shared on phones. A choreography posted online can reach more viewers in a day than a theater tour in a year. Professionals now adapt to camera angles, video editing, and the short-form content style demanded by platforms like YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Reels, and TikTok. Dancing for a live audience requires projection to the back row. Dancing for a camera requires subtlety and precision. The best professionals can switch seamlessly. Dance in the metaverse are now entering the age of the digital stage. Motion capture technology allows dancers to perform as avatars in virtual concerts and metaverse events. Entire performances can be choreographed in 3D spaces, reaching audiences across the globe simultaneously. This doesn't erase tradition, it expands it. Professionals who embrace digital tools gain access to new stages, new income streams, and new creative possibilities. Imagine a dancer whose live performance sells out a 500-seat theater, and whose digital avatar performance is watched by 5 million online. That is the reality of the future. Cultural fusion and global globalization has also made dance more interconnected. A dancer in New York may learn styles from Africa, Asia, or South America within a single studio session. Fusion is everywhere. Afro-fusion, jazz hip-hop blends, contemporary ballet hybrids. Professionals who remain open to cultural exchange grow richer in artistry. Story reflection. The digital choreographer once struggled to secure stage work. Instead of quitting, he embraced technology, creating VR dance experiences and NFT dance art. Today, he collaborates with brands and artists who want to merge movement with technology. His career proves that dance will always survive. It simply changes form. Section 8. The lifelong journey. Approx. 2 hours to become a professional dancer is to accept that the journey never ends. Dance is not a career you retire from easily. It shapes identity, body, and soul. Learning never stops. Even the most accomplished dancers keep training. A prima ballerina in her 40s still takes daily class. A hip-hop icon still attends workshops to learn new moves from younger generations. Professionals know mastery is not a final destination, but a continuous process. Teaching and legacy. As bodies age, many professionals transition into teaching, coaching, or choreographing. They pass knowledge to younger dancers, ensuring that artistry evolves. Mentorship becomes as fulfilling as performance. Watching students grow and succeed allows professionals to see their impact ripple forward. Reinvention. Career shift. Some dancers move into acting, fitness, or directing. Others create companies, blending dance with film, fashion, or technology. Reinvention ensures longevity, proving that being a professional dancer does not end with stepping off the stage. The inner reward. For outsiders, success looks like applause, tours, or fame. For professionals, the deeper reward is transformation. Dance teaches patience, resilience, self-expression, discipline, and courage. These qualities shape not only careers, but entire lives. Story reflection. The veteran performer. Own veteran dancer performed on Broadway for over 20 years. When asked what kept him going, he said, "Every night feels like my first." Because every night, there's someone in the audience who's seeing dance for the first time. My job is to remind them why movement matters. That mindset captures the heart of the professional dancer's lifelong journey. Conclusion. The true answer. So, what does it take to be a professional dancer? Passion to ignite the dream. Discipline to train relentlessly. Resilience to face rejection and rise again. Artistry to move not just the body, but the soul. Business sense to sustain the career. Adaptability to evolve with culture and technology. Commitment to a lifelong journey of learning and reinvention. The professional dancer is not simply someone who performs. They are athletes of emotion, storytellers of movement, entrepreneurs of art, and dreamers who turn rhythm into reality. And above all, they remind the world of this truth. Dance is not just something we do, it is something we are.